'cause I've come to help you make the grade. I'm your friend, I'm your neighbour, I'm your good companion, I'm the leader of a Whig crusade.
This is Leon Rosselson. You probably don't know him, but that's okay. Daddy's not mad, just disappointed.
He was one of those.
Rosselson has been writing, recording and performing music for over 50 years. With 20 solo albums under his belt, Rosselson has certainly been a busy bee. Rosselson is primarily focused on socialist folk music. Think Pete Seeger or Woody Guthrie. His songs, however, often had a satirical edge to them, setting him apart from his contemporaries. One of my favourite examples of Rosselson's bitter, satirical style is his General Lockjaw Briefs the British Media, from the 1991 album Velsin die Elefanten. General Lockjaw Briefs the British Media is a heavy-handed critique of the British media's portrayal of the First Gulf War.
One of the biggest problems I've noticed is you're not putting your chins in first.
The song follows General Lockjaw, a sort of military PR man's repeated demands to the media to not mention the oil, and the character's general instructions to the media as to how best represent the war, in a method that plays down its casualties, as well as Britain's role in arming Saddam Hussein in the first place.
Try not to dwell on the dead, and kill is better not heard or seen, except when it's modified by clean. Forget about people, refer if you must to personnel instead. Describe an Allied bombing raid as a kind...
Another good example is the Battle Hymn of the New Socialist from the 1992 album Guess What They're Selling at the Happiness Counter. This song is a satirical jab at Rosselson's disillusions with the Labour Party, and particularly how far they've moved from their socialist roots.
The cloth cap and the working class as images are dated, for we are Labour's avant-garde and we were educated. We feel we ought...
Leon Rosselson is, in my opinion, one of the greatest folk artists of all time. His music is unique, creative, and often powerful. The thing is though, no one fucking knows him! And to be honest, this really upsets me. Arguably, the greatest fame that he has ever found has been from the Dublineers' 1987 cover of his song, Don't Get Married.
Little virgin, take the veil and be a nun, but don't get married, girls, for marriage isn't fun. No.
And Billy Bragg's cover of Rosselson's The World Turned Upside Down.
In 1649, St. George's Hill, a ragged band they called the Diggers came to show the people's will.
Now, while there's a few other salty Rosselsoners, that's fucking cringe, like me out there that are trying to spread the word, we seem to mostly be screaming into a void. His most popular song, according to YouTube views and Spotify listens, is The Song of the Old Communist, a somber tale of an elderly man looking back on his life as a communist, his struggles and his regrets. On YouTube, it has 143,000 views, and on Spotify, just under 97,000 listens. While this amount of attention for one song may not seem bad, indeed 143,000 views on YouTube is certainly nothing to sneeze at, the discrepancy between this song and his others is stark. His monthly Spotify listeners, for instance, come in at only about 2,700. Why is that? Robert Denislow, a music reviewer for The Guardian, claimed in his 2008 review of Rosselson's A Proper State album that his work mixed black humour and passionate political beliefs in a way that guaranteed he would be ignored by the music industry. Now, while this argument seems to hold water on the surface, of course English socialist satirical folk music isn't exactly everyone's cup of tea, the success of Rossell's contemporaries demonstrates that there certainly is a market for his work. A quick search on YouTube for Woody Guthrie, for instance, shows This Land Is Your Land with 7.3 million views, and All You Fascists Bound to Lose with 2.4. and various more, all with view counts in the millions and hundreds of thousands. His Spotify similarly has millions of listens across multiple songs and 257,000 listeners a month. Pete Seeger, another contemporary of Rosselson, who similarly wrote socialist folk music, boasts millions of YouTube views and 264,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. Billy Bragg, a more modern example of a socialist folk artist, boasts similar numbers on YouTube and almost 1 million monthly Spotify listeners. Look, however you want to explain Rosselson's lack of mainstream success, his message and his method are surely not to blame. And while maybe his music and the messages within are a little bit more on the nose than that of Guthrie, Seeger and Bragg, can this really account for the discrepancy in his popularity? So why is this the case? Why has Rosselson, despite the popularity of his genre, his decades of hard work, and most importantly his musical genius, never achieved any sort of notable fame? I mean, fuck, Microsoft Word even puts a red underline under his bloody name, but not for the others. Oh, let me just try something here. Fuck. Look, I have no answers. Maybe he has just somehow fallen through the cracks of the music industry, or maybe he just isn't as good as I think he is. Maybe his music just scratches all the itches in my brain, whereas to others it's just a little bit shit. All I know is that I think he deserves more. Even if you don't love his message, there may be something about his creations, in his raspy, Londony voice, in his stark sarcasm and clever wordplay, that interests you. So have a listen. I would personally recommend The Man Who Puffs the Big Cigar, with its amazing 2,788 Spotify listens, of which at least 200 are mine, and the Elefanten to get you started. Maybe you'll hate him, maybe he's too campy or preachy, but fuck, please just give him a chance. Please.
He owns and still he schemes, the more he buys, the more it seems.
He's also written some children's songs, so just skip over them and don't get scared off, please. Please, thank you.
The more it seems, there is no limit to his dreams, and as the market booms, his empire grows. Susie, a stripper in a Soho club, she works long hours but not for love, and when men see her body they go crazy, but she just smiles.